It's Jodi Arias on trial, accused of killing her ex-boyfriend. But with the world watching and waiting to see how Arias' murder trial plays out, we got to ask, what is it that drives some women to kill? Well, with me tonight, I'm so pleased to welcome Sharon Martin, who's the producer and narrator of Oxygen Network's hit true crime series Snapped. It airs Sunday nights, and Snapped profiles fascinating cases of women who've been accused of murder. Sharon joining me now from Atlanta for a Showbiz Newsmaker interview. Great having you here.
Thanks for having me, AJ.
Absolutely. So, Sharon, the Arias trial, we all know, has now captivated the attention of the nation. Most people trying to make sense of what she did, and your show delves deep into cases just like this one every week. So I got to ask you, do you think Jodi Arias snapped?
I think if you believe her story, if you believe everything she says, then she's the ultimate case of a woman who snapped. She claims that she had an abused childhood, that she had an abusive relationship, and then it got to a point where she couldn't take anymore, and then she blacks out and doesn't remember the details. If you believe her, then she snapped. I think the reality might be a little different.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the jurors think, obviously, but Arias' ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, was the victim of a very brutal crime at her hands.
Yes.
He was shot, stabbed, his throat was slashed. Still, Arias is saying that there are things that happened that day that she just can't remember. I want to watch a bit of that.
Why is it that you have no memory of stabbing Travis?
I can't really explain why my mind did what it did. Maybe because it's too horrible. I don't know. I really don't know the answer as to why I blacked out or have memory gaps that much of that day.
Yeah, I mean, we heard it right there, Sharon. She says that it's all a blur, so it has me thinking that perhaps memory loss could be actual proof that she did snap?
I think the problem with her story is that she remembers some things, but not other things. And to me, watching this after doing 200 episodes of this show, it feels a lot like she's telling the jury, I'm a little smarter than you, and I can figure out how to answer all your questions, and the ones I can't answer are in the fog.
Yeah.
So whether they're going to buy that, I think we just have to wait and see.
Well, to that point, during the trial, she hinted that even she's not only unclear about what happened before the killing, before killing her boyfriend, she doesn't remember what happened after. Let's watch that.
And then as far as not calling 911, like I said, I can't really explain my state of mind immediately following, and after that, it was basically fear-based as far as not calling any authority.
Okay, so Arias is saying there that she's not even sure about her state of mind following the killing. Do you believe her when you watch that, based on all of the similar cases that you've seen?
I think based on the cases we've seen, the ones that are self-defense cases where the women felt they were in fear and they fired a shot, they emptied the gun, and then immediately picked up the phone and called 911, those are the self-defense cases where the jury believed them and maybe either found them not guilty or gave them some leniency. I think what she did afterwards and for how long she carried on and the very stories that she told along the way, I think what that says is that maybe there was something else going on. The memory story is really convenient for her, and maybe it's true.
Yeah.
I'm not a neurologist. Maybe that's not how it works for her. I just know that in the cases we've seen, stories like that don't always play with a jury.
Yeah, it is amazing, and you bring up that convenient memory, and that is a point that I am so sure the prosecution is going to drive home in those final arguments. So sadly now, Arias joins this growing list of accused women murderers, but what do you think is behind the particular fascination with Jodi?
I think viewers really like to find a woman that they can sort of identify with, and I think everybody knows a woman a little like Jodi Arias. Whether she's a woman you dated, whether she's a girlfriend, you know, she's one of those girls you knew in school. I think there's something about her that everybody sort of goes, oh yeah, I know a girl like that, and I always thought she might be trouble. And I think the fact that she has talked so long about so many details has just made it that much more fascinating. We never get this much detail on somebody during a trial.
Oh, no. And really, you know, for those of us watching at home, as much as we may be fascinated by it, we don't always want so much detail. But Sharon Martin, it's great insight. Thank you so much.